even for someone like Twitch, he was very different off camera because he seems like you said, like he seemed like he was very extroverted and like brought the energy. And there's only so much of that you can do in your life without, that could be just one part of your life that is for show, that is for everyone else. And you can't, like, it just goes to show you that you can't assume that is who they are 100%.
It's not a surprise that showbiz is a rough industry. But you know what? To me, what's surprising is that with someone like Twitch, it like escalated from 0 to 100. At least for someone like myself who doesn't know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
But going by some of the tweets that I see, amongst people like Channing Tatum, Ellen, other people who knew him close, it's like even they didn't know. Of course, nobody knows the cause. Nobody knows how, what, why. Was it financial? Was it depression? No clue. But it's just, I don't know. When people die, especially in Hollywood, it doesn't hit me as much because they're just somewhere on the big screen. But someone like Twitch, who you see on a weekly basis, more than that actually, on a show since say 2014, you think you know the person.
Yeah, I think even with social media, you just feel like might know them better
Makes it more
because they're
personable.
sharing so much of their lives.
True.
Yeah, it makes it seem like you are closer to them than you actually are, and to suddenly see it abruptly stop and not see it coming because it's not like this was someone who was talking about mental health or talking about depression or anything like that. It was just this curated content which seemed happy and cheerful and product placement or whatever. It just goes to show you how much of it is for show. For me personally, perfect example is Anthony Bourdain, because I really enjoyed watching his shows through the years, and an abrupt ending with him where it just came out of left field, not just for people like me who are fans, but even for people who worked with him.
I mean, with at least in the US, depression has been a very open conversation over the past decade. Back in India, it is something that came to the forefront over the past couple of years only. I think Deepika Padukone, took it on herself. She openly spoke about it, but I think the biggest one was when Sushant Singh Rajput committed suicide. Of course, there were lots of controversies and stuff around it, but it still was treated as a taboo. It was just dealt in a very negative way, where it's like, oh, he was on drugs, he was this and that. There's no healthy conversation around it. There's no cause and effect. There's no resources as much as you would hope for.
Even growing up, for us growing up in India, I know that I didn't have close friends of mine who did commit suicide, but I knew people, within my circle, who did. I knew someone who did, and it was almost like society around took it upon themselves to say it was like they were not strong enough to deal with whatever hardship was dealt to them, and if it was and we knew. Even in college, we knew people who might have done it over grades or not passing an exam. And today it just seems like that was so long ago. I might have failed so many tests along the way, and it doesn't matter. Today it doesn't matter at all. No one asked me that question about grades from back then.
For the longest time, mental health across the globe was treated as something that's cowardly for you to do. And that if you are thinking about it, it's your fault. There was no support system in place. There was no empathy for it around. People did not understand it, and they refused to understand it. Much better today, but someone like Twitch, who has the privilege of resources, if he's suffering and he couldn't get away with it, I don't know what chance us normal people have. I guess you just have to look out for each other and reach out if you can.